Overwhelmed in your business? Here's how hiring an assistant can not only double your income, it can definitely reduce your stress.
Let's jump in that today on the Wandering But Not Lost podcast.
Welcome to Wandering But Not Lost, your online source for finding balance so that you can align, connect, and prosper. And now your hosts, Jen O'Brien and Matt Emerson.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the WBNL Wandering But Not Lost podcast, where we align, connect, and prosper. This is episode 332, and you can get all those show notes over at WBNLpodcast.com. Today, Jen O'Brien, work smarter, not harder, right?
Work smarter, not harder. Let's dive right into what we're going to talk about because we've got some really simple ideas all the way up to hiring a real, no kidding, live assistant. So if you're spending a ton of time on administrative tasks and not enough on revenue producing activities that are going to grow your business, today we're going to show you how you can hire a certain level of an assistant and even, of course, leverage your true first assistant, AI, to focus on what matters and ultimately increase your income. I have been teaching and coaching this for years. We have this as part of our real estate team builder program, by the way, which is currently half off, 50% off. Matt will tell you about it more at the end here, and it'll be in our show notes. We have an entire module on how to hire, go through the process in detail. I'm not going to go into those details today in the podcast, but we're just going to get you thinking about why you need an assistant, how you can start slow and then get to it. Because when you do really get this, you can not have to be, as the not good to great, E-Myth Revisited talks about, you don't have to do all the tasks. Because I'm going to tell you, 25 to 30% of the things you're doing, if you don't have some type of an assistant or you're not leveraging AI, you are wasting 25, 30% of your time on things that you shouldn't be. That's how you're going to be able to double or triple or 10 times your income if you really want to. So this applies we're going to talk a little bit about, some real estate examples, but we want to know that anybody watching, doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're in the real estate profession industry, if you're an entrepreneur, small business, you're a solopreneur, this is for everybody. And I will just share a quick insight up front because we've talked about it on the podcast before, but in my real estate business with Cosmo, we have had for 2 years a virtual assistant. So I'll talk a little bit about that as we go on and share with you how you can find these VAs. And her name's Hazel, and she helps us basically get every post that we put up on Cosmo, and I focus on our TikTok page for our videos every day. So we have a process, a streamlined process and a workflow that works for us. We get it the way we want it. And then we simply follow a process of loading it to a drive, and our VA will take it and do what she needs to do to the video, and then basically repurpose it and put it on YouTube Shorts and on our Instagram channels. That has allowed us to grow those channels. We didn't have time to do that. So that's a perfect example, very inexpensive in the long run, and I'll talk more about that. So that right there is why we are able to have a bigger following and some leads coming in from more than TikTok. So why is hiring an assistant a game changer? I kind of alluded to it. The biggest mistake entrepreneurs make is they try to do everything themselves, right?
Yep.
And the 80-20 rule applies here, meaning if you focus on those revenue generating activities and delegate the rest, that's where you can at least get 20 to 25% of your time back. What are some of the common admin tasks that, you could have somebody do for you that drain your time? So this is the very first step in starting to figure out what would you do that if you had somebody helping you that you would take off your list so you had more time for one of two things: go generate some more business, or maybe spend some more time on your work-life balance, right, Matt? Right. Go out and do some of those micro movements that Matt will be talking about more, has been talking about, and we'll be sharing with you in the podcast. Aren't we going to talk about that in the next podcast?
We talked about that last week, actually, but there's a long video coming out on Sunday on that one.
Oh, yeah, totally. That'll be dropping, so look for that. So it could be everything from scheduling and calendar management, helping you with your email inbox and handling things that they could handle for you, so it saves you time. Big one, as I just mentioned, your entire social media plan
That's huge.
and engagement and letting you know who you need to talk to. Obviously, things like marketing materials, like canva.com is our go-to for all of that. But creating all your materials for your promotion, for your marketing, whatever you do in your business that you need materials for. Data entry and obviously CRM management. Here's all the new information. Here's the leads. That's time consuming, and getting all that done. Basic customer follow-up and client communication. Be aware if you're a real estate licensee, what a non-licensed assistant can do and not do. Transaction management for real estate professional, obviously. Research, document prep, the things that you do that you could train somebody to do. So this is the big mindset shift that I think people have to get to is people I find in the past are like, I can't afford to have I can't hire somebody right now. And I tell you, it's a leap of faith and a mindset shift to look at it as an investment and not an expense.
Right.
But you do have to go through a process to make sure you're vetting and following a really good hiring process so you just don't pick the first person that comes along, which we get into in great detail in the Real Estate Sales Builder program, down to we have job descriptions. This is specific to real estate. Job descriptions, hiring practices, how to interview somebody, where to put all the information. I'm going to talk a little bit about that next. So next, you got to think about, do I need, so once you're clear on the things, you can start building a bit of a job description. And it's almost like the way we teach in our course is you have a laundry list. You should have a list of before, during, and after of all the tasks you do in your business and for real estate, when you're doing your sales and listings and marketing and all of that. And we have that as a tool that you can modify for how you run your business. And basically, we have a column that basically says, who does it? Do you do it? Does a TC do it? Do you have an admin do this? Do you have a virtual assistant who does this? And this helps you start to realize what you can take off your plate. So that's the big first step. Then it becomes, do I want to go, so let's just talk about it. Do I get an in-office assistant? Well, maybe, meaning they come to your physical place of business because you have physical space. That might be ideal for people that do have physical space. If you're for real estate, for attorneys, retail operators, obviously. What comes with that is a higher cost, right? So you're going to have space cost, maybe equipment, and salary expectations. So that's probably the top tier of, and you can start out part-time. Sometimes hard to find somebody who wants to work part-time.
That's
not
quality.
Yeah. Full-time, that's the top tier of having somebody that can really do a lot for you. The virtual assistant idea can be very cost-effective and flexible. You can hire per project, hourly. It could be part-time, full-time. And, our person works for us 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. Okay. Yep. So that's best I think for everybody. Online businesses, consultants, content creators, solopreneurs. I think going with a VA is powerful. And if you vet it out properly, you could really find somebody that really understands. And there's always a downside. The downside to working and hiring anybody to help you is there is a learning curve. There is a time frame that you're going to have to basically deal with teaching somebody how you want things done, why I believe the leveraging AI or hiring somebody that can use AI is a double, positive benefit there, right? Because AI already, if you use it properly, is already going to save you tons of time. Now, if you have an assistant or a VA that can use that for your social media posting and scripts and things like that, I know people that do both. And in real estate, I think a first hire is a per transaction coordinator, which honestly, you're not committing to a salary right now. You start with that so that you're not doing the tasks of managing your file. And that could be anywhere from $250 to $350, generally speaking. And you only pay when you have a closing. So that's a very first smart step for a real estate agent.
And well worth the money. And I think so many people, especially when they're newer to real estate, don't jump in and do that because they want to keep every dollar themselves. But my goodness gracious, the time you get back from using that assistant, which you've already talked about, is gold, right? That's prospecting time. That's in front of people time. So
yeah, exactly.
Don't wait around is the point.
So here's another tip on how to determine the right tasks. So I mentioned, to delegate to whoever, virtual assistant and a full-time assistant. that idea of having that spreadsheet obviously will help you, but you have to have the spreadsheet and have your process down, right? So you have to think about that. So if you don't have that, you really need to grab that, or sit down and take the time to go, what's everything that you do from A to Z when you work with a buyer or a seller?
Right.
Again, talking about real estate. So conduct a time audit, like just for a week. Track how much time, just to get yourself just don't trust what I'm saying. For a week, if you tracked in your calendar how much time you spend on admin just by putting a block of time, admin, working with clients, prospecting, that's going to tell you where you're spending your time. And so if you're not having productive, active clients, it's probably because you're not prospecting. You're not lead generating 1 to 2 hours a day. Step 2 of the 5 daily disciplines, do the daily. Step 1, morning routine. I did my morning routine this morning, and I'll be working on step 2 later today.
Very good.
All right, then you can create a list of tasks, whether you have that list and you can say, task only you can do. This means high-level sales calls, things that are going to get you in front of people that are going to buy or sell your product or service. That's you. It's easy. That part's easy to go. Then what are tasks that someone else could do for you with some training? Okay. Then tasks someone else could do right now. Okay. If you hire the right person. So that'll help you get real clear about that. And then using AI with your assistants, as I just mentioned, is so efficient. You just have to you can leverage the AI for the content, the brainstorming, automation. There's now so much stuff that you can do in Chat GPT with using the assistant, creating like things that it can go do for you and then send to your email and all kinds of things that it can do now. It's crazy. And then use human assistance for the high touch and personalized work, right? So that's how you can leverage all of that. All right, now you're ready to write that job description, right? So the key elements of an effective job post, you got to have a great title, okay? Executive virtual assistant with social media expertise, for example. So there is a process for what it looks like. And if you want to get an idea of how to write a great job description, go to Indeed.com. Look at some of the job descriptions that people have posted and follow that. We've actually created our own in our real estate team builder program for things for real estate, like a team manager, like an admin assistant, a transaction coordinator, even for a team agent, what you're looking for. So title, a very clear responsibility of the tasks that you want them to handle. Then you've got to put in their skills proficiency, what you're looking for. I need somebody who's familiar with social, tech, AI, communication, problem solving. And then you can put in the hours, the pay, or, based on the project, or, whatever you want to do to attract the right people. Now, where do you put this? Well, you can put it on, for virtual assistants, you've probably heard of these, Upwork, Fiverr, spelled Fiverr. Where we got our assistant is onlinejobs.ph. These are a lot of people that are international VAs, and onlinejobs.ph is Filipino. What's cool about all those sites there's others, but you could just Google, virtual assistant, and you'll find Upwork, Fiverr, and onlinejobs.ph. That's the top 3. Anyway, they all have a way that you go. You might have, like on online jobs, you've got to get a monthly thing, which you can just do it month at a time. I think it's like $79 or $99. It allows you a month's worth of looking at candidates. And what you can see is people's job description. I mean, you can see the work that they've done.
Right.
You can get reviews. You can set up, you do it all through these systems. You can set up interviews. And you need to be ready to do the interview because you've got to be able to, know what it is you're looking for. And that's how we've done it. And we've used it for other projects. We used it for WBNL coaching in the past to help us with editing videos.
And website.
And the website, really a lot of great stuff there. So you can do there. And then there's other ones for US-based VAs. Some of the ones are called Belay Time. Those are US-based virtual assistants. Then there can be industry-specific virtual assistants. You just need to Google or ask your AI to help you with where to find them.
There you go.
You can also go, if you're looking for in-office assistants, I like LinkedIn. Indeed, of course, Indeed.com, ZipRecruiter. Indeed lets you put some things up for free, but if you pay, then you get a little bit more. ZipRecruiter processes it out to a bunch of job posting sites. then local networking, referrals. Don't forget that sometimes you can go to your own database and you might find somebody who's looking that could be a great assistant, or maybe they have a person they know, a friend, a relative that's looking for it, right? So that's just a high level of where to go with this, but don't be overwhelmed by this. But I will tell you that if you're closing on the real estate side, at least 2 transactions a month, and you're not using assistant, you're wasting time and money. You just are. You could do so much more if you even just start with a TC, to help you, and then think about how to leverage AI, and then either look at a virtual assistant. And if you want more information on all of this, just go check out at WBNL coaching, right? So let me leave you with this homework, okay? So I mentioned if you're really thinking about doing this, track your tasks for a week, identify what you can do, start to become aware of how much time you are spending on things that you could pay somebody, $10 to $12 an hour for in some cases, depending on the skills that you need, okay? That Right Assistant is going to free you up to focus on what really matters, which is growing your business, increasing your income, I would bet for most of you, plus finding some more balance in your life, right? So if you've hired an assistant, I know a lot of people have, because a lot of people reach out to us over the years and I coach them and they've had a bad experience. That's because they didn't have a process to follow.
Right. That's
so
key.
We have that process to follow. Matt, can you just tell them a little bit about what they have to do to get Real Estate Builder? And we're running this special right now for the next
month and a half. It's ends end of March. You still have 40 days to go ahead and grab that. So that's pretty good. Yeah. Our Real Estate Team Builder program is a 6-module course. There's over 12 hours of on-demand video in there, a ton of documents, over 110 documents that you're going to have that you can personalize and utilize. And we did the heavy lifting for you. Anyway, that's all over at our website, WBNLcoaching.com. It's in our courses section, and you can jump in and go to town. Until we just talked about the end of the first quarter, March 31st. Is the 31st day? 30 days has the temperature? Yeah, 31st of March. If you use the coupon code RETB50 off, we're going to give you 50% off our regular sales price of $997. So that is a smoking deal for a program that is worth many times more than $997 if you follow it and put it into practice there. So don't miss this promotion, which goes on until March 31st. RETB50 off as the coupon code. If you want to get dip your toe in the pool on Real Estate Team Builder, Real Estate Team Builder, we have a program called Intro to Team Building, and that is absolutely free. It's actually the first module, or part of the first module from our Real Estate Team Builder course, and you can see how the module is laid out, what kind of information we're giving to you, and how the whole functionality and the videos are working. So that's absolutely free. That's also over on our website at WBNLcoaching.com. You go to our freebies page. What a nice sound that is, right? You can't beat things for free. So go check that out. And then once you love it, which we're pretty sure you will, you can go over and use that coupon code to get your Real Estate Team Builder program now.
Awesome. And when you purchase that Team Builder program, that comes with an hour of consulting with me so that I can help you understand how to leverage it, or just talk over what your goals are. And I'll really help you with, we'll talk about your goals and outcomes for building a team or hiring an assistant.
I love it. Perfect. And I'll tell you, it's that it is it. And it's as simple as that. And it's going to really, really, really help your business and your life if you take some of that, start delegating some of that stuff out. So
totally
wise words. To get more information about what we talked about today, as well as all of the, the details on where you might want to go if you're looking for a virtual assistant, which I think is, that's an awesome way to go, let me tell you, and you have a lot of options out there. Go over to our show notes. This was episode 332, and that's located over on WBNLpodcast.com. And also, it'll be all right down into the description in our, down here below the video here. And if you're listening online on one of the podcast platforms, do go over to WBNLpodcast.com to get all that information. Anything else, Jan O'Brien?
That's it.
All right. Well, coming up this coming Thursday in episode 333, we're going to be talking about breaking the cycle of overthinking. So that'll be a good way to, that if you've been thinking about getting an assistant, come back on Thursday.
There you go.
A cycle that you could actually get out and actually do it. So until next week or next time, Align, Connect, and Prosper. And we'll be back. See you next time.